Hello, hello, welcome everybody. I feel like, there's probably some new faces, probably some familiar faces. I feel like Marvin and I haven't done this in a few weeks, so
It's
it's,
been a
it's
while, yeah.
it's good to be back. Do you think we jump in? I feel like there's been a lot of hype around Nano Banana Pro. I can feel the vibes in the air for today. I don't know,
Yeah,
what do you think?
yeah, I think people are pretty excited about it, and for a good reason, to be honest. Nano Banana Pro is insane.
It is a ton of fun. We have a pretty packed session for you guys. All right, let's just jump in. There's a lot to get through today. All right, welcome to Agent Academy Live. So we've done a lot of these workshops, these Agent Academy workshops, and they're a ton of fun. If you guys have been here before, they're pretty hands-on. So we're going to dive into the platform. They're also sometimes pretty dense. Our main goal is we just want to help you guys and show you guys as much as we possibly can about how we're using the tools, what's possible. Really help people build their first agents. And this might be my favorite. I'm maybe looking forward to this more than anyone we've done, just because Nano Banana Pro is so fun.
Yeah.
And I guess as a quick teaser, Marvin, what's your favorite thing you've done with Nano Banana Pro so far?
Honestly, I've been using it for thumbnails lately. So as you might know, we started doing more content on YouTube, and we're experimenting with a bunch of thumbnail and packaging ideas,
Mhm.
and it's been amazing to use Nano Banana Pro for thumbnails because you can literally like skip Photoshop, skip Canva, just take a picture of yourself and prompt your way to a working thumbnail. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. And it takes it takes like seconds, and you can just do things that an editor. It's really hard for them to do as well.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys know this, we're not wasting anybody's time. We're gonna jump right in. Marvin, if you want to drop the workshop guide in the chat,
Sure.
you guys are gonna want to open Lindy and open your workshop guide. If you are new to Lindy, we have a special link inside the workshop guide that is going to give you extra credits. So this will give you some extra credits so you can participate in today's session. If you're on a Lindy free plan, I would recommend signing up with a new email through that special link so you'll have more credits in a longer trial. And the guide, I'll show you guys real quick. The guide looks like this. So if you're right here, you're going to want to click on this, sign up right here. There's going to be some resources down below that we're going to get to in a moment. But all you got to do right now is just open Lindy and open this guide. So once you have your screen like this, you got Nano Banana Guide here, you got Lindy here, and Marvin and I here.
Yeah.
You're good to go. So I know sometimes it takes a moment to sign up. You have to answer a couple questions. So while we are signing up, we'll give you guys like a minute or two to do that. I want to quickly intro what is an agent and what is Lindy. So you can see we're jumping right in. We're going to build our first agent in 3 steps with Nano Banana. I think it's a pretty cool one. But first, let's take a step back. There's a lot of noise online. I think everyone has a different definition of an agent, and sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. You can get a lot lost in the noise. So we thought, what's a better way to teach you guys, how we view agents than use Nano Banana itself. So actually, I was talking with Nano Banana, and about 2 minutes later, I had this image, nice on a whiteboard. And I really want you guys to think about kind of automation and agents as a spectrum. And so all the way on the left-hand side, you have traditional automation. So if you guys use platforms like Zapier or traditional legacy automation platforms of the past, it might be familiar. Hey, if I get an email with a subject line that has the word invoice, like go do this, like specific thing, all these things, it's not very flexible. Like if you go outside the rules, it's just going to break. So it's like very traditional rules-based automation. On the right-hand side, an AI agent just figures it out. So instead of it giving actually like a path and steps, you just give the AI agent a goal. And you give it a goal and tools, and it's just going to try to figure out how to get to that goal, just like a smart intern. And then somewhere in the middle, you have an AI workflow, like the past where AIs are making some decision, but not all decisions. There's like some autonomy, but not full autonomy. So nothing's black and white. Everything is a spectrum, and this is how we view it here at Lindy. And on Lindy, you can build really powerful AI workflows and AI agents. So everything in the middle on the right hand side, you're going to see our first agent's going to be more in the middle. Then Marvin has a much cooler agent here in 30 minutes or so. That's going to be much more on the right hand side. And if you just think about this like in terms of examples of just like an email automation, it's hey, this is a hard rule, this is going to happen. If it's AI workflow, it might be, hey, the AI is routing the email based off just kind of looking at the email and saying, hey, like what department does this need to go to? Whereas like the AI agents literally just, hey, manage my inbox. Here's my email. Just like figure it out. So there's a lot of these different types of ways that things can automate. And so if that's what an agent is, what is Lindy? Lindy's the world's easiest way to build AI agents. And don't just take our word for it. We're literally going to build our first agent here in the next 15 minutes. And it's a pretty powerful tool. And you can also build agents just from text, just by describing them, which we'll get to in a moment here. All right, so that's what an agent is. That's what's Lindy. Again, if you just dropped in, Marvin, maybe if you want to drop the guide and the sign up one more time in the chat. There's gonna be a link to a workshop guide and there's gonna be a link to Lindy. You want to open up Lindy, you want to open up the workshop guide. As long as you have those two things, you're gonna be ready to go. What is Nano Banana? You guys may have seen Nano Banana. You probably saw it, if you logged into any social platform over the past couple of weeks. It's the world's most powerful image model. It's really good too at like facial recognition, like facial. Like if I wanted to put Marvin somewhere, it's really good at characters like that. But it's just an image model, so you can create generative AI with image. And I think what better way to show you guys what Nano Banana is than I'll just show you guys right now. So let me take a screenshot. Give me one moment here. I'm gonna share my new screen. All right, you can see we're in Google AI Studio. So real quick, I'm going to show you guys what Nano Banana can do. Actually, okay, I'm going to take a screenshot. Actually, Marvin, you want to pose for the camera? Okay, this is like a very tiny screenshot. Like this is probably a 200 pixel screenshot for what it's worth. So we'll see how realistic it is. But if I could just say, hey, like put these guys in the desert. I don't know, just anything like that. Let's see what happens. So you don't have to, in this case, I gave it a reference image. Like I gave it Marvinized likeliness and I'm like, hey, go do that. But you can also just create things with Nano Banana. You can create infographics. You can create like that whiteboard I created. You can create just anything of your imagination. And it takes a little bit. But let's hear if we give it just a moment. All right. Not too bad, honestly. Could have been more specific. The likeliness is not great there, but I will say, like, I literally took a screenshot from the Zoom thumbnail that was like 100 pixels in the
Yeah, that's
corner.
not bad actually.
All things considered, that's pretty wild. So that's Neo Banana. You can do images. It's in Lindy, and what I like about Lindy is you can do things like you can generate hundreds of images at once. So there's a lot of powerful things we can do there. So we're gonna move. If you guys been here before, we're gonna start a little bit slower and we're gonna pick up the speed. These agents do have a little more steps, just because we want to incorporate Nano Banana and we didn't want to give you guys bad agents. So there are a few more steps. So if you're getting overwhelmed, if there's too many steps, or if you even just want to watch me do this build and have it on your screen, if you're in the workshop guide, you'll see this link right here. Literally just click this link. So you can see that template link right under the template. If you click on this template link, it'll be in your account. Let's see, I think it's on the screen. I need to share. Oh, there we go. You'll see this pop up and you can just click add and you already have the agent that we're going to build. So literally 10 seconds. So you're not going to fall behind. So if you ever fall behind or you're getting overwhelmed, just click on the template button. But for those of you, I really encourage you to build along from scratch with me. I think you learn a lot more and you're going to see, I'm going to show you some other ways to build agents here in a little bit. And just doing it from scratch really helps kind of set the foundation. So if you want to build from scratch, have the guide open, have Lindy. So if you're new to Lindy, this is our home screen. You can actually just describe agents in that box and get agents. It's really that easy. But first, we're going to build from scratch just so that we can kind of build the foundation. And if you want to build from scratch, you're going to see this new agent button in the top right-hand side corner. So you're going to want to click on that. I see some people asking, where was the pre-built agent? In the template. In the guide, you'll see that template. Just click on the chat.lindy link. But if I really encourage you to build along with me, you're going to want to click new agent in the top right. Now, once you click new agent, you're going to see there's a lot of ways you can create new agents in Lindy. There's way more templates than the ones we had in our workshop guide. So there's hundreds of templates you can explore. You can just describe it, or we can start from scratch. In this case, we're going to start from scratch. Alrighty, so again, new agent, start from scratch. Then once you click start from scratch, you'll be taken to a blank flow editor. And we're kind of be doing Lindy 101 in parallel while we build this first agent. I just think it's a little more fun. It's a lot more fun than us just, yapping here about concepts and actually just throwing you in. So once you get into the flow editor, you'll see this blank screen. And where this is where you can manually configure agents. So there's two ways to configure agents in Lindy. One, just through text and AI. So AI does it for you, or from scratch. We honestly recommend it's a lot more faster, more fun, AI doing it for you, but you can be more powerful once you know how to do it yourself, and then you kind of wield the AI with your knowledge. So in this case, we're going to hopefully give you guys some knowledge to start on your own. And once you're in here, there's a few kind of basic fundamental concepts to understand. So within Lindy, there's two basic building blocks. So we have triggers and actions. So like triggers wake up an agent. So whenever something happens, like a trigger needs to wake up, like every time I receive an email or every week at 9 a.m. So there's always going to be a trigger. And then there's going to be actions, which are steps that actually do things. And to show you guys what we're actually building here, I'm building a meeting recorder that actually sends me a summary and it also generates a Nano Banana summary for me. So like, I don't know. Whenever I get these AI note taker summaries, I'm not really that engaged. I'm just like, this is just looks like text. It looks a little bit like AI slop. Like I want to look at something cool. And so I actually had Nano Banana. So you can see this is our stand-up from the other day. And you can see we have like this pretty cool graphic right here. And so emailed it to me. It actually makes me want to look and I actually retain more information. Like it's pretty visual. It's fun. And so that's what we're building here today. So the trigger, just like a note taker would, you might imagine we want our agent to wake up every time a calendar event starts. So anytime that I have a calendar event, I want my meeting recorder to join. So if you go ahead and click on this select trigger, you're going to have this action modal pop up right here. And so within this action modal picker, or in this case, we're picking our trigger, you'll see we have thousands of integrations, thousands of tools. So odds are if you use a tool, it integrates with Lindy and you can use it within the platform. So there's really infinite possibilities here. It's pretty powerful. But I'm going to go ahead and click on Google Calendar. So again, add trigger, Google Calendar, and I'm going to look for calendar event started. You can also just search it in at the top. Calendar event started is going to be the trigger. Again, might pick up the speed just a little bit, but I want to make sure we're kind of getting people Lindy 101. And again, you can always just one click in the guide, have this agent just appear for you. Alrighty, sweet. If you're new to Lindy or you have not connected your calendar, you can also use Outlook. If you use Outlook Calendar, similar type of action, very similar name. Just look through the Outlook actions. But if you're new to using this action, on the right hand side, this will probably look orange and it'll say authenticate, and there's like a box. So if you're new, you're gonna want to click on that. One click, you're good to go. There's a lot of questions that people always ask when they connect their tools. I encourage you guys to just go to lindy.ai/security. We take all stuff seriously. We have doctors on the platform, lawyers on the platform. So we put in a lot of work so you guys can safely integrate your tools. Any questions? Good to keep rolling.
I think we're good to go. Just a couple of questions about the trigger itself. Like maybe quickly show again like how you added the first
Yeah.
trigger.
So whenever there's the first trigger, there's always that orange button. Hey, just add a trigger. Or you can right click. If you right click anywhere on the blank flow editor, you'll see this add trigger button. So now we're basically building a meeting note taker right now, so we could augment it with Nano Banana. So we can augment it with this generative model. And so you might see these tools like, I don't know, I always see, what are some tools? I see like sometimes a Fathom or like an Otter. Um, we're literally building that in like 2 minutes, which is kind of insane. We're just building a note taker right now. So actually so what we're going to do next is we want to add a next step. So I'm my meeting note taker to join any event that has a virtual link. So I only want it to come to meetings where there's a Zoom link, there's a Google Meet, things like that. And so what I'm going to go ahead is under this plus, I'm going to go ahead and click this condition. This condition is basically lets you just describe natural languages to go down different paths. It lets you create different paths on your agent. And what's so powerful about this is you can just do things in natural language that previously had to be fixed. So like if you have a customer support inbox or your email inbox, you could just describe, hey, if the email requires action from me, go this way. Or like if they ask for a refund, go this way. So it's really powerful when you can just route things happening in your agent with natural language. So I'm just going to say, go down this path if the meeting has a virtual link. And if you're following along, I know a lot of people probably one-click the template. You're also going to see the prompts in here. So this is going to be prompt 1. You can copy and paste it from the guide. You can see all we're doing is adding a condition. We clicked the plus add condition, and now we're good to go. So then after that, I'm going to add a new step, which is actually going to join the meeting. So we're going to click on perform an action, again, plus perform an action. So I'm just adding another step. Again, thinking about our work and workflows and patterns. I would say that this workflow part, we're only going to get more exciting. We're going to build stuff with text. Marvin's going to build stuff way more on the agentic side of the spectrum. But this helps us kind of understand how things are working. So we're going to go ahead and click perform an action. Going to go buy Lindy. And you'll see in the buy Lindy section, you'll see this Lindy meeting recorder. And so this Lindy meeting recorder joins our meetings, it records them. And what my favorite part is once you have the transcript, you can do anything you want. Like, all these thousands of tools, you can take actions with the transcript, which is really powerful. and AI. So I'm going to click on Lindy Meeting Recorder. I'm going to click Record Meeting. All right. So it should look like this. So now every time, if you kind of take a pause and think about where we are, every time we are going to have a calendar event start on my calendar, if there's a virtual link, it's going to go through this step and then join the meeting and record it. I see some people asking how many tokens does the meeting recorder use? I think it's only like 1 credit, like 1 cent a meeting, maybe.
Yeah, one center meeting, and then anything you do afterwards obviously depends on like the size of the context of the meeting, right? So if it's like a 3 hour meeting, it's going to cost more than just a 5 minute chat.
Totally. All right. Now we're going to get to use Nano Banana. So this is the fun part. So when we think about these things over here, whenever we have an action on our flow editor, you can click into it and you can manually configure things on the right-hand side, which we're going to do here in a little bit. But the record meeting, you can see there's two paths. I can do things after it joins the meeting or after the recording is available. I want to do things after the recording is available because that means I have the whole transcript. I basically have essays of text that I can go ahead and do whatever the hell I want with AI. So after the recording is available, I'm going to go ahead and click plus. I'm going to click perform an action, and you're going to see it at the very top, generate media, right here under AI. So if you click add an action, you're going to go ahead and click generate media, generate image. You could turn your meeting into videos. I don't know how useful that'll be today, but you could do that. All right, so now that we're at this step, we'll see after the recording is available, we want to create an image. And what you can do here is on the right-hand side, we can configure things. The most important thing, toggle this to Gemini 3 Pro or Nano Banana Pro. So on default, it'll probably be on the regular Nano Banana, but let's just flip this to Nano Banana Pro. So this is just changing the underlying image model that this step is using. And now I want to configure this field on the right-hand side. So what's really powerful with Lindy is there's 3 ways to configure any field. So you have manual, which is just like fixed. So like in this case, we set the model fixed, like it's going to be Nano Banana Pro every time. There's auto, which basically means Lindy also has built-in memory for you. So Lindy knows what happened the previous 3 steps. AI is going to fill in the blank as best possible. It's like magic autocomplete. It's really, really powerful. Or you can use prompt mode, which is like instructed and autocomplete. So in this case, I'm like talking to basically Claude, guiding the AI how to fill out this box. And so this is thing sometimes I think what clicks for people when they like love building with Lindy is it's not like a traditional automation platform where you have to like really rigid with things downstream. It's like there's so much just smart AI things happening behind the scenes. You can just guide it with your words. And so in here, I'm going to take this prompt for generate image. I'm going to paste it in here. Again, might pick up just a little bit. So if you want this in your accounts, just click on this link. But I'm going to paste this prompt in here. You can see this prompt. It's basically saying, hey, like create a visual summary, talk about the things that matter, like styles up to you. It gives a little bit of freedom. So this is just helping create a prompt to create the image. So I'll pause there for just a second. We have one more step and then we're done. I mean, at this point, it already would generate the image and you could go in Lindy and see it. But I want to email it to myself. In this case, if I want to email it to myself, here's how I will show you guys how to do it. I see some people asking, what are some of the most unique ways people are using Lindy and Nano? We have a lot of, we're just kind of getting the intro, we're getting a cool meeting note taker, but Marvin's agent is actually like a really cool agent that we're seeing people use in the marketing world. Also, in the middle of today's session, we're going to show you guys AI CMO, which is like the ceiling of marketing agents that we actually built with Nano Banana. And now it's even better with Nano Banana Pro. So there's gonna be a ton of like, more really valuable, tangible business use cases. This one's like a fun personal one to, we're getting y'all warmed up. And then even at the end too, Marvin is honestly just like kind of geeks out about the Nano Banana and building with this stuff. And so he has a couple just cool things he does on his day to day that he's gonna show you later as well. All right. Now, last step, I'm gonna add one more step. So I'm gonna perform an action and I'm gonna add a send email. So if I go ahead and click on Gmail, we're gonna send an email just like this. Again, you might need to authenticate it if you might want to authenticate it if this is a new action for you. But then I'm just going to go ahead and configure a couple fields here. So again, I only want to send this email to myself. So I'm going to switch the to field to manual and just put in my email. This is a good example of switching from auto to manual because, maybe auto will send it to me. Maybe auto decides to send it to other people in the meeting. So I don't want to risk it. Just going to make it manual. And then in the body, I actually have another prompt from the guide just like this. So email body, just like that. So I head back here. I'm going to paste in this body from the prompt. And then if you are pasting the prompt, This is one thing, if you build with Lindy a lot, sometimes it confuses people, but it's really cool is just because AI handles things for you doesn't mean you can't reference things that happened in previous step. So for example, if I'm clicking in here, I can actually reference the image that was created. It's called an output reference just on the left-hand side. So I can click on this first image right here. We'll see right here. So one sentence summary of the meeting, and then conclude this image just like that. And again, we're going to wrap this one up. But if you click on this link, you will have the exact agent I built in your account. After we do that, you can simply hit turn on and we're good to go. My agent's done. I built basically like an Otter or a Fathom note taker that is like these 3 steps, I guess, with the email. But I gave it a little twist. I added a fun image prompt that is going to augment my transcript into an image and it's going to send me the email. So pretty cool stuff here. And then I'm going to add one more variation here. And then so again, it's in the template, but I'm gonna do a little bit quickly so we can get to some of the cooler agents. But if I'm thinking of usability, sometimes maybe I join a meeting ad hoc or the meeting link isn't present. And so I'm gonna add one more trigger. So I'm add a trigger at the top for message received. So if you go again, right click on your flow editor, you can always add more triggers and actions. So I'm gonna add a message received, chat with this agent, which basically is like turns this agent almost into a custom GPT where I could just send a message and talk to it. And what I'm going to do here, so I'm gonna add 2 conditions. So I'm gonna say, go down this path if it is go down this path. Actually, what way did I structure it here? Actually, sorry. What I'm actually going to do is I'm just gonna drag this condition in here. So now what this means is I could just send this agent a message and it would join the meeting. So as long as I send it a meeting link, it would still join the meeting. But maybe I just want to generate my meetings into cool graphics regardless. So I'm gonna add one more condition. So if I click on this condition, you can always add multiple conditions by clicking the plus add condition. And what I'm going to do is say, go on this path if there was a transcription. So if I have like another meeting tool where I just have a transcription, I can go straight to the generate image step. You can also click this little format button and it looks all pretty. When I click publish changes, we're good to go. Then the easiest way to test your agent is after you do this, if you want to test it, just go ahead and click test, or you can always view the run history in the task view. Alrighty, but now our agent's good to go. Let's see it run. So like I'm gonna show you guys it running real quick. So if I take the other agent I had, let's see, it was this one, that was a copy. Like if I take this transcript just like this, I can paste it in here. So again, flow editor is where you configure your agent. Tasks is where you kind of see the run history and what's going on for your agent. But I configured it so that I could also send my agent messages and make it a little more flexible. So it's always going to join the meeting, but I can also send it a link to join, or I can send a transcription and it'll just go straight to the image step. So if I go ahead and just paste this transcription in here, we can see it's going to now, what it's going to do is going to be message received. It's going to go here and say, hey, this is actually a transcription, so I don't need to record anything. So I'm just going to generate the image and send an email. So it's just going to be following on this path already. Transcript would just be from any image you want. And if you have a message received trigger, you can always talk to your agent in the task view, which sometimes is a little confusing to people, but it almost makes your agent like a custom GPT. So like a little more flexible. So you can see now this meeting is getting turned into an image, and I'm going to get an email in just a moment. Let's see. Any popular questions?
I think some people were just confused where you got the meeting transcript from.
Oh, it's just an old meeting. This was an old stand-up meeting with nothing too sensitive. You can see it generated this image just like this, and now an email with this. If I go into my inbox, I can see it. Oh, this is it's a different agent. Let's see here. I can see it right here. So like I got this meeting in my inbox with the graphic. Pretty cool. And then a lot of people always ask how much does it cost? You can always right click on a task and see how much it costs. So in this case, it costs 6.8 credits, which is roughly like 7 cents to do all of these things. So if you right click on the run history on the left-hand side, you can always see the credit view and just like that. Another common question is how do you share your agent? It's like, how did I share my agent with you guys at the beginning? If you click on share at the top, you'll see this make this a template button. So I can just toggle it on. I can copy the link, and that's the link I gave to all you guys. So it really is that easy. This one was a more steps, I think, than we usually do at the beginning because we wanted to. But I mean, we built a full note taker. We had a cool prompt turning into an image, and we sent ourselves emails.
Okay, some questions about the condition step as well as adding the second trigger.
Totally. So adding a second trigger. Sometimes it can be a little bit confusing, but if you think about it, like if you have an employee or a smart intern, they don't just wait, they wake up for different tasks. They don't always have one task. So you can always have an agent wake up for multiple things. If you just right click on the flow editor in any blank space, you can always add a new trigger. This will allow them to wake up at a different point in time. So in this case, I right clicked add trigger, and you'll see the chat with this agent, the very top left, the message received. So I added a message received trigger. And then to add an additional condition, you can always click on the existing condition step, and you'll see add condition down below. You can always keep adding more and more and more, as many as you want, which is pretty powerful. All right. So now the template there. That was, I think, like a little warm up and hopefully a Lindy 101 intro. So we're gonna keep rolling. There's gonna be more time for questions. And this is like, I think we're on like 2% of
Yeah,
the agents we're going to show
we're
today.
just getting started here,
We're
guys.
just getting started, guys. We're just getting started, guys. So thanks for, if you're new to Lindy, proud of you for bearing through with there. Like you literally built a note taker by yourself with a couple clicks and made a cool image for it and emailed it to yourself. Not bad. There's teams that build products for these for like months. So it's the age of AI. All right, so let's keep rolling. So that's like a pretty simple example. I always like to show, like, Lindy is our sales leader here at Lindy. I'm not speaking of you. She is a real person, but she has this like really her meeting note taker. So this is her meeting note taker, and it actually manages, like, it updates all of our CRM. It manages this like crazy spreadsheet that stores like 100 attributes for each call, so we can see like what works. It does all these things. Like it manages all of our follow-ups for months. So the power of the note taker, and which is why I wanted to kind of intro you guys to that, is you can do things after your meeting. So like for traditional tools, maybe your transcripts just sit in a box or you can ask some questions. Like you can quite literally integrate your meetings to all your other tools to help speed up your work. And so this is like a pretty simple example. It's Nano Banana themed. We're gonna make an image and send it to somebody. But really the sky's the limit for what you want to build. Alrighty. So with that, I think I'm gonna take a step back. We can take a little bit of a breather, but we want to give you a quick overview of Lindy, the easier way to build agents. So we showed you how to build from scratch. We gave you an idea of some of the things that you can do, but I really want to quickly show you guys what else you can do with Lindy. So if you're on the home screen, you probably see, you see this text box and you're like, man, I want to build an agent. Like, should I put messages in there? The short answer is yes. Like it's a lot faster to build. So you saw, like, if you know what you're doing, it only took us 20 minutes. We didn't make mistakes, but it's really powerful when you can go into this box and build whatever you want. So I could say, for example, like, hey, can you build me an email assistant that labels my emails and drafts concise replies? Like, I can just give it words like this. Like it's really that easy. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and click go, and we're gonna wait here. So then once it's going, it's gonna detect, hey, I'm trying to build an agent. So I want to click here to get my agent. And now we can see on the left-hand side, that same chat we were just talking to is going to appear. So if we wait just a moment here, you can see now it's viewing the agent and it's going to get this tools and build it for us. And I'm guessing it's going to build it more on the agentic side. And I see some people having a great, someone said it looked like a matrix with like the past and the old agent. I completely agree. That's why Marvin's going to show you on the opposite end of how powerful it is when you can build things more agentic. And so we call them an agent step. We'll save that. We'll save that for a little bit later. So we showed you guys like the kind of the manual hard way, which is like an AI workflow. Now we're showing you how to build things with text. And in just a moment, Marvin's going to show you the coolest thing you can build by simply letting the AI, you just give it a goal and it figures it out for you. So I see someone asking, does the agent builder use credits? It does use credits. You can see how much credits it's running down here. So you can see this is a simple agent. It only took 26 credits. It's already here. It's built. So this is an agent step, which, I'm gonna save Marvin, let Marvin explain this a little bit, but this is like a smart intern where I just gave it a goal and it's just gonna do it for me. But if I go ahead, let's see, I could test this. You can see literally while I was talking to you guys, I got another inbox manager. Like it really is that fast to build an agent. And all I said was build me an email assistant that labels emails and drafts concise replies. So it really is that easy. Let's see. I might need to switch to my Lindy mail. All right. I think I need to publish test. Then usually with the test, it'll pull your past emails, or I might need to send an email. Let's see. Oh, I see someone saying 26. Okay, we got our meeting summary right here. Let's see. We got a few. Team stand up summary. Oh, build marketing agents. All right. So you can see maybe that one had an error. Like it looks like we're failing to test. But let me pull up an existing email agent for you guys real quick. So I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like. Email assistant. All right, guys, we're proving you it is live. My guess is I've done this so many times that I have like 5 email agents hooked up to the same inbox. I need to turn some off. But I just flipped on one that I actually use. So here is one right here. So this is my real email assistant that moves stuff to spam. And so you can see what this does is I got like some ad. It basically had this is like a promotional sales email. So it added a label to it. So like it added the label, hey, it's promotional. It moved it to trash and it's just done. So like I don't see it. But the same way, like if there's things that need actions, it drafts a concise reply. So it's really cool. And I literally built this one just with the prompt. So it is pretty powerful. And again, just as like a recap, so like once you build an agent, you can always see the agent and make more changes yourself in the flow editor. It's like flow editor is where you configure, it's where you get to be a builder. It's where we have a lot of fun. We like building. If you don't like building, I think sometimes people don't like the flow editor. You can always click on this ask, and you can even talk to the AI and have it build for you. But I would say like don't assume agent builder is a silver bullet. Like we have people that come in here and they try to build like 2 marketing employees in one prompt. Like the reality is like think of your work in tasks and patterns. Like I was specific about like this email task, or you could be specific about like your meeting note taker and what you want to do after it. It's like the more specific you can be, and like the more descriptive you can be, the better result you're gonna get. Like you don't want to just mash words into agent builder for like 20 chats and have like a ton of information accrue and then your credits disappear. Like that's what happens for a lot of people we hear it. So if you're using these things, use agent builder as a starting point and then test it out and make a couple tweaks is how you can get the most of it. But you can see it's here. Once you're in the Flutter, you configure it. You can always click publish to make your changes live. You can click test to test it out. And if you go ahead into tasks, tasks is like your run history. So you can see I can see my old emails. I can see what my agent's doing. I can check how much credits things cost. Like my email one's only costing like a cent per email, which is pretty wild. But that is Agent Builder. And so hopefully you guys are feeling a little more comfortable with the Lindy platform. And you can always click into triggers and actions, and obviously you configure things on the right-hand side. Maybe pause for a moment before Marvin's going to show us some of his Nano Banana prompting tricks. But even just to recap, so it's been about half an hour with us. We built a meeting note taker that augmented with Nano Banana. We showed you guys how to build things from scratch just with text. And honestly, I think we're like still 20% of the way there. We will right after Marvin shows you Nano Banana, we're going to show you guys the AI CMO, which is really the ceiling of what marketing agents can do. Like it's a pretty wild agent that handles everything from research to like campaign creation to even creating assets. And it was really good with Nano Banana. It's even better with Nano Banana Pro. And we got a few more tricks up your sleeve. Marvin has the coolest agent, I think, at the end. We always save the best for last. And then Marvin, we got some special stuff at the end, just save for y'all as well. I don't know. What do you think, Marvin?
Yeah, I think you guys are going to enjoy the agent we're going to build. It's not, it's like maybe it's not the best use case, but it just shows like what's actually possible right now, right today. And it's like it's blowing my mind still.
All right, I'm going to pass it to Marvin. He's going to show you guys some tips on how to prompt Nano Banana. Just if you're using Nano Banana on its own or using within Lindy, there's a few ways you can word to squeeze the most use out of the models. So I'll pass it off to Marvin real quick.
Yeah. So I've been playing around with Nano Banana inside the AI studio a lot. If you're new to using Gemini and Nano Banana, you can simply head over to aistudio.google.com. And this is the place where there's a playground. If you are signed up, you can use your own API key in order to test all these things out. I think they even give you like $300 worth of free credits. So it's pretty sick. And once you like connect your API key right here, you can go ahead and just play around with it. You could also just go to Gemini, right? Which is like gemini.google.com. It's like the interface. It's a bit easier to use, but it's less customizable, right? So I definitely prefer to just go to AI Studio and play around with it. And you'll see like on the right, there are a lot of customizable things right here. You can set the temperature, the aspect ratio, really helpful, right? So depending on what kind of asset you want to create here, these aspect ratios are really helpful. You can define the resolution, right? So you can go up to 4K. You can allow the agent to use some research capabilities, and you can define the output length. So let's say, for example, I think Ethan did this before. I have whatever image right here. This is just a screenshot of a random thing. I can simply paste it in here and prompt it to do something else with it, right? So put this on a whiteboard in an office, for example. And this is a bit random, but I'm just going to run it and see what it does. Fairly simple, right? It's going to go ahead, think about it, try to add this weird thing, which is just a screenshot to a whiteboard, and hopefully it's going to come up with a valid solution. You can open these, and yeah, I mean, this is actually pretty cool. So you can see it actually sketched it out on a whiteboard in an office exactly like we wanted, with the 1,400 RSVPs, with the user interface, and with a picture of us, which is, by the way, also Nano Banana generated, obviously, right?
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool.
So you see how simple this was, right? There's no like, there wasn't a lot of prompting involved here. I just shared like a screenshot of what I wanted and told her to put it on a whiteboard in an office. Fairly simple. So what I came across though is, like, if you are ideating with a bunch of ideas and you want to iterate fast, this interface is a bit limiting in terms of you kind of have to generate a lot of prompts and to get similar results, right? So I could go ahead and literally just rerun this and get a slightly different variation. But instead of doing that, I decided to go ahead and actually build an app to help me with that. So if you go to build down here in the AI Studio, you can actually use Gemini 3 to build apps for you. And I use this a lot to just build internal apps. For example, this one right here, which is, I vibe coded my way to this thumbnail generator for us, right? Which is pretty cool. So you can upload like reference images. I'm going to upload one of mine right here. You can define the aspect ratio. Let's say this is like a YouTube thumbnail, and then you can just prompt your way to a thumbnail. Now, the cool thing is that I coded this application to output always at least 3 variations of the image. So I'm iterating a lot faster. And even if you like generate multiple generations at a time, it's just going to add them to the queue. So I'm capable of moving much, much faster. Let's say extreme close up of this guy wearing a banana hat. Um, I don't know. Let's say um, cinematic, close up shot, YouTube style, whatever, right? This is not the best prompt, obviously, but you get the idea. Now I can just add it. I can generate multiple at a time. And each of these generations are going to generate 3, which is pretty amazing. Now it's working on 9 thumbnails. And that is exactly the reason why I'm capable of like moving a lot faster than usual. You can see like my iterations right here.
Did your agent really get you drunk, Marvin?
Yeah, it did not. Not yet. So you can see like it's not going to be one iteration. It's obviously going to be multiple until you get to a point where you kind of feel happy with the results, right? So I got drunk with my agent this weekend. This is going to happen, by the way. It didn't happen yet, but you get my idea. This time I was like sketching out like a preview of what I imagined. The first results kind of sucked. Then I iterated on it, continued, blah blah blah, and at some point we got to this, and I think this is pretty cool.
And for context on this stuff too, like now people pay like people hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars for great thumbnails. Like it's its own art, and like now like most people probably go to Upwork and you're paying like $100 for a couple options.
Yeah.
Like instead, we just pay a couple dollars, we throw in reference images with a vision, and you instantly get hundreds. And so it's giving you like a glimpse. Like whenever Marvin first showed this to me, it really shows you how like personal software, and you can actually just build your own things to solve your own use cases. It's pretty nuts. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty nuts.
Samir right here. Premium tier thumbnail for sure.
It is pretty cool.
All right, I'm gonna give it back to you.
All right. So Marvin, there you go. Marvin gave you some of the Nano Banana tricks, show you some of the things he's been building. If you like that, Marvin has even some cooler stuff he's just been building in his free time that we save for the end credits. So need some more cool shit at the end. So let me share my screen again real quick so you can see. Oh my,
Yeah, I'm gonna show you the generated thumbnails, and at the end, they are
that's
funny.
really funny. Sorry, guys, I got distracted by Marvin's screen. But okay, so we built our first agent. We covered kind of some Lindy and Nano Banana 101. Now we want to show you like what's the ceiling? Like if you were to spend, like we had one of our best AI engineers spend like 40 hours building an agent like about a month ago. So I want to show you what that agent can do. And maybe we'll give it to you, if we're feeling nice. So then we're gonna show you guys what AI CMO can do. Then we got Marvin's sick build that's gonna be more on the agentic side of the spectrum. And then we got some more cool shit at the end. So if you just like watching Marvin jam, which I know I'm lucky I got to sit next to him, we got some more surprises for you guys in a bit. But first, what is AI CMO? So it really is like your marketing team's AI superpower. So as you can tell, we're always looking to build, truly get closer and closer to like the AI employee. And so it's like it starts with these agents and they're doing tasks and then they're doing groups of tasks and they're doing larger of tasks and they start working together. And the AI CMO is like really giving you like you feel like you're fast forwarding 6 months where it's like you have these three agents doing really specific marketing tasks and they all work together to do something really, really powerful. And so there's three agents here. There's like a strategy agent that studies all the competitors and just sees what's working from whatever like trends they're following, what are their creatives, what are they doing. Then there's like an analysis agent that takes all of that. It does it does some pretty wild like psychological and all these other types of research to figure out, hey, like what's actually working and how can we turn that into a campaign agent? And then it actually generates the assets for you guys. And so let me show you. It's a lot easier to show you guys what it is in a video. So we have a video that I can share with you guys after. If you look here, this is Ka, by the way. So if you look up Ka Lindy on LinkedIn, give him some love. He built the AICMO, but let's see what this looks like.
What if I told you all of these marketing campaigns were created by AI? Lindy AI CMO gives you a team.
Yeah, honestly, we're gonna watch that one more time. Think about that. All those creatives that you saw at the beginning were generated with VO, 3.0, and Nano Banana. Not even Nano Banana Pro. All of these assets.
What if I told you all of these marketing campaigns were created by AI? Lindy AI CMO gives you a team of AI agents that collaborate together to ship end-to-end marketing campaigns from strategy to creative. Here's how it works. The set of three agents includes a research agent, an analysis agent, and a creative agent. And so let's kick things off with the first agent, which is the research agent. The core questions that we want to answer with this agent include: what problem do we solve? Who is our product really for? And why are we different? And so this agent helps your company answer these questions by doing deep research on your company, its products, its customers, and its competition. And all you need to get started with using this agent is your company's website. And so here, I really love the brand Acne Studios. So let's go ahead and start the agent out on that. So here you can see that it's scraping the Acne Studios website, it's searching the internet for more information, and it's even using Perplexity to find as much research as possible. Through these different steps, we're figuring out a description of the company, its product and services, its ideal ICP, the brand tone, the value proposition, as well as SEO optimized keywords. As another example, let's check out what it did for the customer psychology. So here we break down the target audience for this company, including different personas, values, interests, and just a very thorough breakdown of each customer type. Next, let's check out the analysis agent. And here we did here. And so you can see the agent ingest all these docs for context.
I can't pause it. I'm gonna fast forward just a little bit, but you notice like the specificity of how it creates those profiles. Like the biggest thing with the models is like the nuance and specificity you put in is like correlated to the quality you get out. And so by doing this much and like getting this quality and hyper specific information, like you get a lot better results downstream. And so eventually it's gonna create these campaign briefs just like that. And then if we keep going, we're gonna go ahead and you'll see, Ka has
you can see that's laid out every single post that I created into a really easy, digestible format. So you can see exactly what you need to post in terms of the copy, the images, and any videos. Before you head off to experiment with the agents yourself, here are a few more examples I created featuring some of my favorite brands.
Right. That was pretty cool, Ka. And there's a few ways to access this agent. It's actually a template on Lindy. So if I go back here, but first, Marvin and I, we posted with not only the AI CMO, but we have two more Nano Banana agents for you guys. And so you'll see there's two more posts just like this. See if I refresh it. And so if you guys comment on this post, we'll send you all three AI CMO agents, the tutorial, and an agent as well. So Marvin, what does your bonus agent do?
We're actually going to build that agent, right? So the only way to access the agent we're about to build together
Is the comment on Marvin's
is to
post.
comment on my post.
Sweet. And then giving you guys a preview of mine, I always hate just kind of keeping up with information. And so what I did was I built an agent that goes through all of the internet and it finds the top AI communities and it finds like the most important posts and I get like a really entertaining comic. So every week or day, I can just kind of stay up to date like in a pretty entertaining way. So you have two more surprise Nano Banana agents with a similar workshop guide, as well as all the AI CMO templates packaged up for you guys with the tutorial. All you got to do is the comments and both of those agents will be with you guys. You do have to connect with us though, so we can DM with you. And obviously, we'd love to stay in touch. All right. So I'm gonna keep rolling. I know we have like 35 or so minutes left. So we have what I think is a lot cooler of an agent than I built. Marvin's gonna also teach you guys how to use the agent step and what that looks like. And then at the end, we have some more cool shit up our sleeve. So if you thought any of this shit was cool so far, it's been less than an hour. Hopefully we delivered on our promise to show you how easy it is to get agents going. You can see we truly are just trying to help you guys and show you guys as much as we possibly can. All right, I'll kick it off to Marvin. While Marvin's rolling too, I'll be in the chat. I'm going to try to help you guys as much as I possibly can if you have any questions.
You guys know, like Reddit is a pretty cool place to find details about every competitor you have currently, right? So if you are into B2B SaaS, for example, there's a lot of people complaining about either your product or your competitor's product, right? So it's great for market research. It's great for marketing angles. And we're going to make use of that. So I want to build an agent with you guys that goes ahead and finds like details about what my competitors' customers hate about their product. And then we're going to use that with Nano Banana and computer use to actually build something that's pretty cool. Let's build a new agent. We're going to start from scratch. And if you're on your homepage, the easiest way to create a new agent is top right, new agent, start from scratch. This is going to be wild. So first things first, we want to use a trigger, and we're going to keep it super simple by using a message receive trigger. This is the best way to really just talk to your agent, right? And what we want our agent to do is a couple of things. We first want them to do some research on Reddit, and then I want a second agent to go ahead and use that research in order to actually build myself a page talking about all the pain points customers of my competitors have on Reddit, right? So in order to do so, we're going to start a computer session. This makes the computer available for our agent to use afterwards, right? But the first agent, I actually don't want it to use the computer just yet. I want this first agent to be my research agent. So I'm gonna remove the skills right here. All right. So bottom right skills, just remove all of them. And we're going to add a bunch of different skills. So if you click on the plus icon, you can now go ahead and add actions to your agent. And one of my favorite integrations we currently have is the scrape creators action. It's basically an API that allows us to scrape a bunch of information from the web, like TikTok information, a bunch of stuff on Reddit, as well as LinkedIn ads, pretty interesting actually. But we are going to use the search Reddit action, the get subreddit posts, the get Reddit post comments, and that's really it, these three. So again, get Reddit post comments, get subreddit posts, and search Reddit. Cool. Click on done. Now, because the way I like to build agents is I want them to improve over time. And the easiest way for me to do so is giving them feedback and having them memorize that feedback afterwards, right? And it's actually really simple to do that. So if I add a new skill right here and click on AI, oh, sorry, no, search for memory, and then click on modify agent memory. This allows the agent to store and update memory snippets, basically just text snippets, on the agent level, right? So every time the agent runs, it will have access to the memory files, which is pretty cool. All right. So what you want to do now is you want to go to your Notion guide and you want to get the first prompt. And the way I write these prompts is fairly simple. It's me going to Claude and starting like a whisper flow session, right? Just talking about what I want my agent to do, and Claude will come back with a prompt for me. This one is supposed to be my competitive intelligence Reddit analyst, right? Phase one, Reddit research, right? Use a max of 10 actions. Pretty helpful if you want to limit your agent to a set number of actions, just say so, right? It's gonna reduce the costs and credits here. Then phase two is writing an article. I wanted to write an article, a long form article in New York Times Magazine style, right? With a structure given here, a tone. And then phase three is just preparing a handoff. Why a handoff? Because we are going to use a second agent step here to hand off all of this information to the second agent, which is then going to go ahead and actually build that page for us, as well as generate the images we need. Cool. Gonna briefly pause here for a second. Any major questions?
I had one question I think is pretty viable. I was typing right now from Caroline, but when using the AI builder, she said it usually uses the agent step. She's like, is this optimal? Like, how can I make my agent steps better? Like, how do you think about like AI workflow to agent step is always a very common question.
Yeah, as Ethan mentioned in the beginning, it's really a spectrum, right? So we look at it from the workflow perspective up to the very agentic perspective. This right here, what I'm building is a bit of a mix, right? So we have a bunch of steps which are predefined, like we receive a message, then we start a computer, then we start our agent step, which is like in this case, our research agent. But this part itself is very agentic. The next one would be also an agent step, which again is agentic in itself, but we are connecting all those steps, which makes this more of a workflow approach, right? And I like to think of it in terms of, hey, do I need something here that's going to be repeatable at scale? If so, I want it to be more of a workflow approach. If this is going to be more of an assistant, for example, right? I want the agent to help me with email, but also check my calendar. Maybe I wanted to go ahead and like transcribe a YouTube video for me, right? This would be more of a agentic approach I would build, right? So message received on Slack, for example, and then agent step with a bunch of skills and very good prompting. The workflow approach requires less prompting. The agentic approach requires a lot more and better prompting to make sure that the agent actually knows what it's doing. Right. All right. So as you can see, we've got a little warning icon right here to define a condition. So let's do that. I want the agent to exit the first step once he needs to you need to generate an image. Cool. Now, agent number two. Now, this one is the landing page and Nano Banana agent, right? By the way, changing the name of the agent does not impact its performance. And this one will need a bunch of skills. So let's add some skills. First, you'll see top left, the Lindy computer as a linked action. That's because we added the start computer action already, which is linked to these actions we can choose from here. So we want to get the public URL. We want to run playwright code if that's available to you. I'm not sure actually. You want to use the browser and you want to use the terminal, right? So select all of those. And we want to add even more skills. One of the skills is analyze media, which allows the agent to literally like take an image or take a video or something, and then analyze whatever that is. So let's use that. That's going to be handy sometimes. And then obviously we want to generate images, right? So let's click on generate media. And right here is the generate image action we're going to use. You could also generate videos if you'd like, but we're going to keep it simple since this is focused on Nano Banana Pro. Now, if I open the action on the side just to inspect what is actually happening inside of that action, generate image, and you don't have to follow this, just to see how it looks like, right? We've got a prompt field in here, cool. We've got the image generation model, and we have got a bunch, right? GPT, we've got Gemini Flash image, and we've got Gemini 3 Pro, which is Nano Banana Pro. So what we need to do inside of the agent step, because we're not configuring the action itself, we need to prompt it to use the right model, right? So let's make sure that's the case. You could also add reference images if you wanted to, right? So either a URL or an uploaded file. In this case, in the prompt, you'll see that I actually added a URL to one of the images of myself. So it can use that to reference my generate image based on that. Back to the Notion guide, opening the prompt number 2, image gen and landing page. Let's add that right here. And because this is more of a complex task, right? It first has to generate images. It then has to generate a full landing page. I'm going to use a more intelligent model here. Currently, we're at Haiku 4.5, which is like pretty cheap, super fast, and pretty smart as well. But we just want to make sure that it's the highest quality possible for this one. At least I want to. So I'm going to use Opus 4.5. Now, the last thing I want to do to make it more of a agentic approach, which I can work with, I'm going to pull this little plus icon connection back to my research agent and define the condition to exit once you need to do more research. What this means is as soon as we get to the point where it generated the landing page for us, and maybe we're not happy with the result, we can tell it to go back and do some more research, and it will literally go down this path, go back to the research agent, do a bunch of research, and then generate the landing page and the images afterwards. Awesome. So let's turn this on and actually give it a try. And while I do, Ethan, let me know if there are any major questions.
No, I see some people asking where are the skills, and I see some people talking about, it's moving a little fast. That's why, we always try to start a little bit slow. We speed up, guys, we're going to send you the recording. We're sending you the templates. We know there's sometimes we have a lot of people that join that build in Lindy a lot of the time. So we kind of want to go a little bit faster at the end, bring people along with us.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky balance, but I promise, guys, we're trying as hard as we can.
All right. So while this is running, I'm gonna walk through this one more time. All that's happening is we receive a message which allows us to like chat in the task view, right? Then we start a computer session. In the computer session, you can also define what computer to use. Not really relevant for this example, but it allows the agent later on to use the computer, right? Then what happens is we go into the research agent step. Now we've got a big prompt right here with a bunch of examples. It's actually generating the infographic data we want to use for the image generation later on. And it has a bunch of skills, right? So search Reddit, get subreddit posts, and get Reddit post comments by script creators. It also has the Lindy utility modify agent memory, which will be saved in the settings tab, right? just a quick, you don't have to memorize this, but the memories are right here. They're going to be managed by this agent.
Do you think maybe I think what might help we will connect the dots a little bit since it's like sometimes the float and the skills it's so intimidating. Like one more time, what are the steps actually doing and what is this agent doing?
Yeah. So the agent receives a message by us. We want to find dirty secrets about N8N, for example. You guys know that's one of our competitors. And that's what I just did, right? A competitor, N8N, that's the message I sent. Then it's starting a computer session, which allows the agent to go ahead and like use the terminal, write some code, use the browser, etc. We have the research agent finding all those dirty secrets about N8N in this instance by searching Reddit and actually looking into what people write in the comments under these posts. And then the landing page agent goes ahead and takes all of that research information, generates two images based on that information. One is like a data visualization. The other one is actually an image of me. And you can replace that easily by just changing the URL right here. And then it's going to go ahead and generate the landing page for it. And we can see that live in action in the task view. So if I scroll up, it did a bunch of research, right? I sent it competitor N8N, and it's going to go ahead, find some dirty secrets about this competitor.
Yeah, and some people are asking why dirty secrets. This is just one example, but a lot of times you find like a pain point of your competitor.
Yeah.
It's like you can market that need, or like what people want and like what kind of bubbles you can play on. The same way you can you could research their strengths, what people love. There's really the world is your oyster with using this agent.
Exactly. And the cool thing about like using an agent step with a skill is that, as you can see, it literally like it invokes a bunch of skill calls, and then finds information, and based on that information already found, it uses more tools, right? It's like you going down a rabbit hole on Reddit. Like you find one post, you look into a comment, maybe that comment has a link, you click into that link, you find more Reddit posts, and so on, right? Now it's generating like the handoff document, which is literally the article about the N8N trap, why developers are abandoning the no-code dream for Python, which is apparently a thing on Reddit. Okay, cool. So now that we know that, we as a company can go ahead and like actually target people talking about that pain point on our competitor end, or maybe position Lindy as a solution for that pain point, right? Now, if I scroll down, wow, that's a long article. It got prompt insights about the infographic data, a couple of quotes, very helpful, the dirty secrets. And now it decided, hey, I want to generate an image. And it went ahead and actually generated images. And as you can see, this is one of the images, a leaky bucket with new N8N users going in and everything going out again because of pricing shocks, performance limits, debugging hell. That's pretty good, actually. And here's an image of myself. Not very accurate, but the reference image wasn't that good, to be honest. So it's continuing down the path. It's currently getting the images and writing some code. And by the end of it, hopefully we'll have a pretty cool landing page. Let's see.
Yeah. I mean, even just think about this for a second. We're researching all this stuff and we're creating a landing page on the fly, like basically just like a whole article and landing page that anyone could access with custom images, with custom information.
Yeah.
Like it's pretty wild. I know Marvin's done some where you invite people to events too.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, like I see like Ryan example in the chat. Like we could just send Ryan like a very personal one-on-one landing page and it's like, hey, come to this event. Here's why I invited you. We could throw like custom pictures of Ryan too. So it's like it's nuts that you're able to do this stuff like distributed and then this custom. And it's like it's still kind of expensive, but it's way cheaper. Like these things are 126 times cheaper than a year ago. Like you just keep multiplying that a couple of years. Like all of this is a commodity and it's free. At least what's me pretty excited.
Totally. Yeah. A couple of hints on the prompting side here. I think it's actually valuable. So the way I prompted this agent is pretty workflowy style, right? So we have a bunch of different phases. I knew exactly that I want to generate like two images, one for the infographic, one for myself. So I gave it instructions on how to prompt Nano Banana Pro, generating these assets. And then Ryan was asking about the reference image. It's right here. It's a URL, right? And I told it to use that as reference image inside of Nano Banana. And you see, like the first time I tried this, it didn't work perfectly. So I added a bunch of hints to my agent step. For example, never ask for user guidance or feedback. Like this one time, the agent just waited for me to reply, and I didn't want that. So I added this line. The second one is like only use Nano Banana Pro for image generation, because before that it would use like GPT-1 or the Nano Banana Flash model. So I wanted to use the highest resolution and the newest model. And then for image 2, you must reference the provided URL to capture the subject's likeness accurately, right? Just to make sure it actually uses the reference image for image generation. So let's see how it turned out. Oh, it's still updating. We'll have to wait a little bit, but maybe are there any more questions? And by the way, I'm not a software engineer, right? So
Someone's asking if Marvin's Pixel Tube is public.
oh, maybe I should actually share that. Yeah.
Someone said, could you build an agent post on Reddit? Absolutely. It's like a computer use.
I think
It's
Reddit blocks us actually.
They block the computer.
Yeah. They
Okay.
block the computer.
Reddit's they always are
I tried
anti-bot.
that.
We have a few actions like if you use scrape creators or Apify, there's ways we can like pull from Reddit communities. But it's a little dicey posting. Like you might be able to kind of work around with the computer accessing Reddit. But I don't be surprised if like you get logged out and they kind of just make it hell for you to keep it up.
Yeah, I saw someone asking if this was a Next.js project. Yes, the agent went ahead and actually did a project.
Good for them to see the end result.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do you think how fast is this thing? Like, do we come back? Do you think you're just about there?
I'm not sure. Let's come back to it.
Okay. All right. We'll come back. We'll save it for the end. So, we have more cool shit from Marvin coming at the end as well. If you liked his Pixel tool and other projects. So I guess first, thank you guys for coming to the workshop. I know 90 minutes is a long time in your day. So we really appreciate you guys taking the time to come here with us. Just like, you can tell we put a lot into it. We want to make this as exciting and show you guys a lot of cool things. I know, especially even though the week after Thanksgiving break, it can be hard. It can be hard to get up and rally for these things. So we really appreciate that. But before we show you guys more cool shit, like I want to tell you guys a story. And what better way to tell a story than to use Nano Banana to kind of help tell the story? And so I think this might relate with some people in the room, at least me and Marvin specifically. But I remember when I was in Seattle, like before I moved to San Francisco, there is some like AI communities. Like I feel like for me to get this type of information, I was lucky enough that I found a couple of clubs at school where everyone was just talking AI all day. Maybe I wasn't the coolest kid, but I was always in the basement just, talking to AI, trying to figure out what I could do. And it was kind of sad. It was like, man, I wish San Francisco is just everywhere. But I know other people don't have that. I don't know. What did you think when you were in Germany, Marvin?
I was in the same situation. I was really into AI and automation, and I was pretty ambitious, but I really had I didn't know many people think in the same way. So I was always yearning like the SF tech bubble. I was just missing people as interested as I was back then.
Totally. Because you might even ask you, like, how did you guys pick up all these tricks? My tricks not always as cool as Marvin's, but it's really just honestly, I was just jamming with people around me and just learning from people around them. Like everyone's just trying things, like things are going so fast. And so I don't know about you, Marvin. I started posting a little bit. I started going to events. I started just saying, you know what? I'm gonna create these groups around me.
Yeah.
And then, we all went from the sad Nano Banana picture to this happy Nano Banana picture. Maybe people aren't that excited talking about AI, but we were at least. And so you really can do these things and around you. And we really want to help you guys however we can. It doesn't just need to be like a Lindy pocket. Like we want you guys to help teach each other about AI and have these spaces. And so if that's something that's interested in you, if like you want to find those people around you, like you really don't need, no one told me or Marvin, hey, Marvin, like, go run an event. Like you're the guy. Like you just start doing it. And then people come and you learn things from them. I even like, you don't need to start an event or to do things. You don't need to be as cracked as Marvin. Marvin teaches me things every day. Even when we go to events, we learn so much from our attendees. Like it's really about just having a place to start. And so if you're interested in doing these and you want to build agents and you want to find those people in your communities, we do help you guys with this. So if you guys are doing these things, some benefits of being a Lindy partner, we give you guys free credits for your events. So if you have attendees coming in, we'll give you guys, everyone will get like, 5K credits, extended trials, so they can just go ahead and build. We give you some money for food, pizza, whatever you guys need. We also add them to the Luma calendar. So if you want to be on our Luma calendar, we can help direct people in your area to your events. And also, obviously, send us pictures. We'll amplify. We love highlighting people doing great things around and just promoting AI and just having a good time. And sometimes I think I like the top us off, but I know other people like sometimes the monetary aspect. But for any account you do bring, we do offer 40% rev share year one uncapped and 20% year two. And so Marvin's gonna drop two links in there. The first link is if you want to be a Lindy partner. This just pretty much lets you refer people. If you reach out to me on Slack, I can help you get a discount. And so this will help you kind of access to refer people to Lindy. And then Marvin's also going to send a form, or like if you want to host a meetup in your city, you want to host an AI meetup, a Lindy meetup, and you want these perks, we want to help you out. I don't know. It means a lot to me because I want people to have the space to be able to jam out this stuff because I remember what it was like without it. Now I get to be next to Marvin every day, and Marvin's just carrying me along and helping all of us grow. So if those interest you, Marvin's gonna drop it in there. But that's all from there. So with that, now we have Marvin's in credit. So Marvin, Marvin's got some more cool shit to show you guys. Make sure to save those forms if you're interested. Also, if you're in our community Slack, if you just search like Lindy Community Slack, if you have any questions about the partner program, hosting events, just DM me and I'll help you guys. Happy to answer any question and help you guys set up. All right, let's pass it off to Marvin.
All right. This is like there's no agenda for this. I'm just gonna ramble a little bit, but maybe it's gonna be of interest for some of you. So first of all, here's an example of what we just generated, right? The great N8N Exodus. And honestly, like looking at this looks real to me. Like I showed this to Ethan the other day, and he was like, "Oh, what is N8N doing?" He literally thought this was like a real article. Um, and I mean, these images are generated by Nano Banana Pro.
Yeah, this is the output of the agent. In case, if you guys tuned out for 20 seconds, like this is the output of that crazy agent Marvin built. Like I thought it was a real article. Like it's pretty insane. Honestly, you could scam people. Like maybe we don't need to talk about that on live,
Yeah.
but you could totally scam your coworkers and trick them into some stories.
Oh, maybe this is actually an SEO play as well, right? So you can like generate hundreds of
Yeah,
these.
and all these images are Nano Banana Pro too.
Yeah.
Like so no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, scroll through Marvin. Let's
Okay,
see.
let's see.
Look at the fonts too.
Yeah. All right. This is insane pricing, blah blah blah. The $100,000 integration. I did not know they charge so much. Okay.
Yeah.
There's another infographic. I mean, this looks incredible to me. Like just visualizing all the pain points people have. And then also like pulling all the quotes from the subreddits. I think this is honestly amazing. Yeah, key findings right here. And then we got another one right here. This is Gumloop, one of the other competitors, and you can see like Gumloop apparently has no Reddit posts, so it's making fun of it. It's pretty mean actually, but you get the idea, right? And you've got myself generated in here as well as the article writer, which is pretty cool. Also Nano Banana generated.
Yeah, we got Marvin the writer. Some people are asking how does the hosting work? And like maybe explain that. That's why we're using the Lindy computer.
Yeah. So hosting is very simple on Lindy because we'll just use the lindy.build.site. So you can see this is the URL. So every time you have your agent start a computer and generate an image and have the get public URL skill attached to it, it will be able to generate a subdomain on the lindy.site domain and host it for you freely. And it's going to be hosted for pretty much forever, as long as we stay around, I guess. So yeah, you have it accessible immediately after your agent hosts it.
Yeah, no custom domains right now. That's one question.
Oh yeah,
no custom domains right now.
And
but if you really wanted to, like the agent's just using a computer. So if you're using some other service to host, or like if you're more technical, you can have, or if you're more technical, you could literally have Lindy push it to like a GitHub repo, and then you could access that repo. It's really just using a computer. So you can use that computer to send it somewhere else and then have it all there for you as well.
Yeah, this is the one we just generated live, right? So it's done. It gives me a breakdown of what is not
The
broken
leaky
for.
bucket.
Yeah, the leaky bucket is a good one actually.
That
And it
is
looks so legit. I mean, look at it. It's amazing.
that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
I didn't even give it like a template or anything. I just prompted it to,
Yeah, all you gotta do, remember, go comment on Marvin's LinkedIn post and his agent will send that to you.
yeah,
Yeah. All right. Do you want to show me your last trick? The game you were cooking up or the sprite generator?
sure. Um, which one of those?
Maybe both. Maybe both. Marvin was making some games. I think we'll show you guys one, maybe what was working, but
Okay,
then also what is kind of working, so you can kind of see what's on the horizon.
fair. So I started using oh sorry, I forgot about these. Can you see it? Oh yeah.
Oh, the
Uh,
pixel tube. This is what I was laughing at earlier, if
the
you guys
thumbnails
remember
we
way back in
generated
June.
earlier today, right? I hope you enjoy these. Um,
Seeing a lot
anyway,
of laugh reacts.
so I started using Gemini
Man,
for playing around with gaming actually, and this was kind of fun. Um, so on the weekend, I decided to uh, vibe code my way to a tower defense game, and it's actually working, right? So I can go ahead and play.
turn on the volume too.
Yeah.
Maybe turn on the
So
volume.
so this was like V1. Now, Gemini, I think, is pretty cool, but once the code gets like extensively bigger, Gemini seems to struggle a little bit
Oh,
with
it's
like
lagging
bigger
a little bit, but
bigger
it's okay.
code. Oh, it's lagging.
Yeah.
I think it's my connection. Anyway, what I did was I saved this to GitHub and made it available to Cursor and Cloud Code. So if you guys don't know Cloud Code, I mean, this is how my interface looks. I'm working inside of Cursor, and you can just open a terminal and like spin up Cloud Code inside of it. So I'm always working with like 4 or 5 agents at the same time, which is pretty cool. And again, I'm not a software engineer. I have no idea how all of this stuff is working. I just ask um, the agent to help me out most of the time, right? So you can see now like the code base is significantly larger, and I was able to spin up the game um, a lot cooler, right? So I'm gonna turn on the voice. Oh, maybe not. Then you guys are gonna hear me double. But this is now a pretty amazing game, to be honest. I can go ahead and choose whatever tower I want to defend myself with. We can start, we can speed it up a little bit, and now it's just going. Now, the next idea I had afterwards was, hey, like these towers are great, but I would love to be able to actually use Nano Banana in order to generate sprites for these towers, right? So the way how game development usually works is you either like work in 3D animation software, or you use sprites in order to like build 2D games, for example. And I went ahead and actually used Gemini again to come up with a sprite generator for me, right? So like what I'm trying to say here is like opportunities are limitless right now. Like there's so much you can do nowadays without being an engineer. It's almost insane. So what this does is literally it generates sprites for me to use inside of my game using Nano Banana Pro. So let's generate one.
Yeah. And what is a sprite, if someone doesn't know?
Yeah, a sprite is literally just an image of
Uh,
whatever element of the game you want to have, right? So in this instance, it's going to be a tower. And now
dude,
it's generating all these tower versions for me that I can then use to animate them, right? Um,
let's see. I might be lagging a little bit on my screen if I
oh
was talking to
yeah,
other people, but it's kind of hard to see. But you're getting these sprites on the left-hand side. You can actually create the frame-by-frame animation that then Marvin can then take those files, upload it into the tower defense game, and then it's using all these things. And also, you might have shown. Did you show them like the upgrades? Like even the tower defense game,
yeah.
it set up a leaderboard. So like it set up a database. So if you play, there's a leaderboard. You can like upgrade all your buildings. There's like these like global power-ups. Like it's pretty insane the complexity. There's like a lot of like boss like people coming later. It's like a full tower defense game.
Yeah,
Pretty nuts.
it's the full game. I'm honestly a bit addicted to it at this point because I've been playing and testing it so much.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is pretty crazy.
That's about it. I just wanted to like, guys, go ahead, play around with these AI tools. There's so much you can build. There's a lot you can build inside of Lindy. I could now, one of my projects I'm working on is like build using an open source CRM as a personal CRM, basically. I want to give it a try. And I'm going to use Lindy to help me manage that CRM in the end, right? So I'm going to have Cloud Code write the endpoints for the CRM itself, and then I'm going to
Yeah.
hook it up with Lindy in order to actually like upload details, use my meeting note taker to like add transcripts and updates from whatever person I spoke to, hook it up with emails, right? So I have all the email history inside of my CRM. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Go ahead and play around with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully that's the one takeaway, guys. Go try these tools and like Nano Banana. It's really cool when you're getting this visual and you'll see it's like pretty good at some stuff if you go mass volume, but if you squint, you can see it getting really good at other stuff. And there's no better place to try these tools than around people. Especially it's just like more motivating, it's more fun. So if you guys wanna help a meetup, we'll help you out, just go build. But it's been a ton of fun.